Hey guys, here I am out here firing that pot. So this pot here in the middle is that little pot you saw me coil a couple weeks ago, and then you saw me slip and paint it. So it's ready to fire now. And then these are a couple of ones I made a while back. So I'm gonna fire these all together today. And it's a nice day out here, so should be great. In case you don't know who I am, my name's Andy Ward. I teach people how to make pottery the way it was made centuries ago here in the Southwest. And if you subscribe to my channel, I'll teach you too. Okay, so here's my fire. This is what you call primary fire. It's basically just building up a bed of coals that then I'll stack the pottery over. I have my kiln furniture in there warming up as well. As you can see, my pottery is stacked around the fire, warming up as well. And I'll rotate that every once in a while. And then I have a shallow pit on this one, which I don't always do, but I'm trying to not over oxidize. So that's one of my strategies for dealing with Salato polychromes. You just come along and you can feel it, make sure it's getting hot, turn it a little bit so it has a chance to heat all over. And then notice that I have the pottery sitting on pieces of kiln furniture because this ground is damp and I don't need that unfired green clay wicking up moisture.
Didn't get hot enough there, did it?
Didn't get hot enough.
Oh, dark and sooty. That bowl is also dark and sooty.
Okay, how'd the firing go? Here's my little experimental jar that I made, coiled in that previous video. And you can see I still have to wash some of the, what'll happen with that organic paint is you get ash on it. So places where it looks gray, that's wiping off. It'd be good if I had a sink here. I could kind of run it under it and scrub some of that off. But you can see that under that, the designs are black or at any rate dark gray. Didn't oxidize as good as I'd hoped. I've got some sooty areas, but this sooty area here, this dark area here was right where that bowl was sitting on it. So it didn't oxidize good underneath the bowl. In some areas in some areas the paint is crisper than others. Honestly, there's 3 different paints on here. There's there's mesquite bean, the line at the rim, and that looks okay, but it's got a lot of ash on it. I'm gonna have to scrub that at home. And the middle part was the yucca fruit, and then the banding lines here and here were bee plant, and it looks like the bee plant did best, but I'll know better after I scrub it up a little bit. But overall, pretty good. You can hear that it's good and hard. The other bowls, they came out really dark and sooty, but I don't know what these were made a long time ago, so it's a good chance that the slip on this is Klondike, and Klondike is, it's got a crazy affinity for carbon. It will absorb it out of the atmosphere like crazy, and then you have to oxidize it like crazy to clean it up. So there's a good chance that this is Klondike material, and that's why it did that. Whereas this is the St. John's material. It doesn't need that hot oxidizing soak, so it behaves a little differently. Anyways, I'll clean these up and show you what they look like when I get them home, but overall pretty good. Fired hard and taught me a little bit more about the organic paint. Okay, so I'm home and I've had a chance to clean up this little pot, and I wanted to just review with you what I learned here. For the most part, it's really kind of a dirty little pot. It didn't really oxidize well enough, so we've got a lot of carbon deposits in what should be a white or whitish slip. Ends up being a bit gray. There's places where I polished through the slip into the red paint, the red clay underneath, and so we've got a lot of reddish brown spots shining through. That's not good either. The bottom is a lot cleaner, a lot brighter than the top, because it was fired upside down in that pit, and so we didn't oxidize good at the bottom, and it wasn't the coals coming in on it, because the cover shirts kept those coals and everything back. It was just not breathing good down in there. I think it needed to be a little higher. And now about the paints. Okay, bee plant, the framing line here, very black all the way around. The yucca fruit, it's good in places, you know, but overall it's a little washy. Get a little bit of that watercolor effect on it. On the mesquite up here at the top, It's hard to tell exactly because it's so kind of smudgy around the rim. But you see the gray. There's gray on my black in various places. You can see it right in here real good. And that, I believe that is calcium hard water deposits. So I've moved to Tucson in the last year or so, and I'm still not used to the water here. So I have to remember that when I'm mixing up paint, I can't use tap water. It's too hard. And with this organic paint, you add water to it all the time. You add water and you paint, and then maybe you'll go away. And later on, you want to paint another pot. You add water to it and you paint, and you go away. It evaporates over that time, and then you add more water to it. So if you're adding hard water and adding hard water and adding hard water and adding hard water, it accumulates in that paint. And obviously, this paint has got also when you're making it, you're boiling it away, the water. So you're accumulating it even when you're making the paint. I need to be aware of that and be careful with Tucson water and use, distilled water that I buy from the store, because this is going to ruin my paint. So, like I said, it's kind of a dirty little pot. Overall, I learned a lot on this, though. I learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work, and about applying slip. I'm not going to polish it next time. I'm pretty sure that this Salado stuff was not polished, at least not polished like this at all. So there's something not right about the polish on it, and I don't think I'm gonna polish. I'm gonna try applying it without polishing, see how that works out. That's where it's at. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week.